Hey there, House here. I had a little bit better showing last week than the one prior, thankfully. I went 9-5, which is good for a win percentage of 64%. My overall record is 88, 39-1 for a win percentage of 68%. Now on to my Week 10 picks. Tonight we have the Colts versus the Titans. I'm picking the Titans in this one. If this were a week ago, I would have been more inclined to picking the Colts, but after their showing last week, I got to give the Titans the advantage here. Texans versus Browns. Picking the Browns here. Nick Chubb has been practicing all week, and he's expected to play this weekend, which will definitely help out their run game. Washington versus the Lions. I'm picking Washington. Now, I know this seems like I'm picking them for quite possibly the third week in a row, but I'm doing this because Alex Smith is finally the starting quarterback. It's unfortunate that Kyle Allen got hurt, but the team is better off with Smith starting. Not to mention Washington was 6-4 just 2 years ago before he got hurt. Jaguars versus the Packers, taking the Packers here. Eagles versus the Giants, taking the Eagles. Bucks versus Panthers, I'm picking the Bucks. Even after a poor showing on Sunday Night Football last week, the Panthers will be without Christian McCaffrey, who injured his shoulder in his return game. Bills versus the Cardinals, I'm taking the Bills here. This is another coin toss game for me with both teams playing very well, but still giving Bills the advantage. Broncos versus the Raiders, picking the Raiders. Chargers versus Dolphins, taking the Dolphins here. Bengals versus Steelers. Now, I'm picking the Steelers, but this pick is under the assumption that Big Ben is actually going to play in this game. He is on the COVID-19 reserve list, as on Sunday, he was deemed in close contact with their tight end who tested positive. They have a locker right next to each other, and apparently they both sat next to each other on the plane ride home. So he's on the reserve list until probably Saturday. He's not going to practice at all with the team. So if he plays, I'm giving Pittsburgh the advantage. But if he doesn't, I would pick the Bengals. But seeing as how I'm making my predictions now, I'm going to stick with the Steelers. Seahawks versus the Rams, taking the Seahawks here. 49ers versus the Saints, picking the Saints. Ravens versus the Patriots, taking the Ravens. And Vikings versus the Bears, taking the Vikings. Well, there you have it. Those are my picks. Thank you for tuning into the House Report. As always, I hope my picks go better this week than they did last week. Check back in as the games progress just to see how good or bad I'm doing. And remember, you'll win some and you'll lose some, but the house always wins.